If you were VIP or absent today, which is Friday, January 8th, here's what we did. So first we went over our vocab words on Nearpod. We submitted sentences for the last 2 words. And then if you are finished with that, I'd like you to go into the Nearpod post and over like on the right side of your turn-in spot, there should be a place that says mark as done. There's nothing for you to physically turn in here, but if you click mark as done, that will let me know that you're finished with it. After that, we read Ellis Island, which you'll find the bottom of this week's lessons. First, we did the 4 readings, and then we did the races prompt. The 4 readings is here, and it's exactly like the one that we did yesterday, except obviously with a different poem. So first thing you'll do is read the poem, read about the author, and you'll work through figuring out what the structure is, figure out the point of view, and then what facts can you determine about the speaker. I mentioned in the other video that I posted on the assignment that an important part for you to know is that our speaker is not an immigrant. He is visiting. So the circle line here tells us that he is here to visit and just kind of tour Ellis Island. He is not an immigrant himself. So make sure that you keep that in mind. There probably aren't many words that you don't know in the poem. We used to have to define quarantine, but following a year of COVID, we don't need to do that anymore. After that, we answered these questions. So these are all questions with a right or wrong answer. So I turned that into a Kahoot that you can use to check your answers. So if you click this, it should pop up, you put your name in, you answer the questions, and if you get them wrong, I want you to go back into your 4 readings and change the answers. This last section I can kind of do with you here. So for reading number 4, what does it mean? We're looking at how this poem is kind of divided. So the first half is all about his Slovakian heritage. So this half is all about his grandparents who came from Eastern Europe and were immigrants. This half is all about his grandparents that were here already and were Native American. And you can see by the questioning that one of those experiences is positive and the other one is negative. What you should do is go through the first part of the poem and the second part of the poem and look for specific words that are positive in the first half and negative in the second half. So as I look over this, we have the word easily here. We have the word meadows. That's a very calm, happy word. We have dreams. Answerer. Dreams again. So those are all words that are incredibly positive. Even green, that signifies life, and you can think of like a lush forest. And then in the second half, we have the word invaded. And then words that are not necessarily bad in the way that they're used, but we have the word blood and we have the word veins. And as we look at that, when we combine the word blood and the word veins with the word invaded, it kind of calls out the violence of what happened to the Native Americans. So it pulls out a tone that wouldn't have been there if we had said, yet only part of my heritage loves that memory, knowledge of the seasons in their souls or hearts. Those would have been very different if we had said those words instead. So those words here that are used are meant to call out a negative tone. So when you go to write your races prompt, what you should do is use those specific words as your evidence. So you should say, for the restate an answer, you can copy the question without the question mark. You take off the question words. So the author's tone shift in the last stanza in comparison to the first 2 is developed by the different words that he uses, like that. And then in this section, you'll tell me some words he uses in the first two stanzas and how they develop a tone. In this section, you'll tell me some words that he uses in the the third stanza, and you'll explain how it develops a tone, and then you'll sum the whole thing up. So I would use those specific highlighted words here as my evidence for the answers. If you have questions on this, let me know. It is not due until Monday at midnight, so you have that virtual day to work on it as well. And you're welcome to reach out that day if you need it too. On Monday, I will post a new poem that you'll just do the first two readings on. And I will also post your vocab homework. Vocab homework isn't due until Thursday, but of course, you're welcome to get it done early. Hope you have a great weekend. Reach out if you need anything. And if not, I will touch base with you on Monday.